You ever notice how every Sunday night feels like a reset button? You tell yourself, okay, this week is different. You make the schedule, open Notion, watch productivity videos, maybe even clean your desk for absolutely no reason. And then, 3 days later, you're already off track again. The workout stops, the studying slips, the uploads disappear, and suddenly you're lying in bed at 1:47 a.m. watching someone else change their life while feeling guilty that you can't even stay consistent for 1 week. Here's the crazy part. Most people think they have a discipline problem, but after millions of views worth of productivity content, creator interviews, psychology studies, and honestly ruining my own sleep schedule trying to figure this out, I realized something shocking. You're probably not inconsistent because you're lazy. You're inconsistent because your system is secretly designed to fail. And the worst part? Most productivity advice actually makes it worse. In this video, I'm going to show you the real reason you can't stay consistent, the mistake almost every student and creator makes without noticing, and the tiny shift that suddenly makes habits feel 10 times easier. And trust me, the last point is the one that changed everything for me, because consistency is not about becoming a robot. It's about removing the hidden friction you don't even realize exists. So let's talk about the first thing silently destroying your consistency. You keep trying to become a different person overnight. Think about it. Someone watches one motivational video and suddenly decides, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm studying 8 hours a day. I'm going to the gym. I'm quitting social media. I'll upload daily. That sounds productive, but your brain hears something completely different. Your brain hears, massive identity change detected. Panic immediately. That's why you go insanely hard for 3 days and then crash, because motivation can start habits, but only identity can sustain them. Here's what nobody tells you. Consistent people usually don't rely on motivation nearly as much as you think. The student who studies daily, they don't wake up inspired every morning. The creator uploading every week, they also get tired, distracted, insecure. The difference is simple. Their habits became normal. That's the secret, not intensity, normality. And this leads to the biggest mistake students make. They make consistency emotionally expensive. For example, imagine 2 students. One says, I need to study 6 hours today or I failed. The second says, I'll study for 15 minutes minimum no matter what. Guess who survives longer? The first student creates pressure. The second creates momentum. Momentum beats intensity every single time. This is why people who start small usually end up ahead, because they stay in the game long enough for habits to compound. And this connects to something almost nobody notices. Your brain does not care about your goals. It cares about avoiding discomfort. That sentence alone explains like 90% of procrastination. Think about school assignments. Most students don't avoid studying because they hate success. They avoid the uncomfortable feeling of starting, the uncertainty, the mental friction, the fear they won't understand the chapter, the guilt from already being behind. So what happens? You grab your phone for 1 minute. Then suddenly you're watching edits, scrolling shorts, checking random comments, searching things you don't even care about. Not because you're weak, because your brain found an easier emotional escape. Now here's where things get interesting. The people who stay consistent are not better at forcing themselves. They're better at reducing friction. That's it. Want proof? If your textbook is already open on your desk, studying feels easier. If your gym clothes are ready beforehand, working out feels easier. If your editing software is already open, making content feels easier. Consistency is often just environment design pretending to be discipline. And once I realized that, everything changed. I stopped asking, how do I become more motivated? And started asking, how do I make good habits harder to avoid? That question is powerful, because now you stop relying on mood. And moods are dangerous, especially for creators and students. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you feel mentally dead for no reason. That's normal. But inconsistent people make one fatal mistake. They think bad days mean they're failing, so they quit too early. Consistent people think differently. They expect bad days. This mindset shift is huge, because if you expect perfection, one bad day destroys momentum. But if you expect imperfection, one bad day becomes irrelevant. Missing one workout doesn't ruin progress. Missing one study session doesn't ruin your future. Uploading late once doesn't kill your channel. The danger is not failing. The danger is turning one mistake into a new identity. I missed today becomes I'm inconsistent. And once you label yourself like that, your brain starts proving it true. That's why the language you use matters more than people think. Instead of saying, I'm lazy, say, my system failed today. That tiny change removes shame while keeping responsibility. And shame is one of the biggest consistency killers alive, because shame drains energy. Shame makes tasks feel heavier. Shame makes you avoid the very thing that would help you improve. That's why so many people disappear after failing once. A creator misses uploads for 2 weeks and gets embarrassed to return. A student falls behind and avoids studying entirely because opening the book feels painful. But the people who improve fastest, they restart quickly. That's the skill, not perfection. Recovery speed. Read that again mentally. Recovery speed matters more than consistency streaks, because real life is messy. You'll get tired, you'll lose motivation, You'll have stressful school weeks. You'll doubt yourself. You'll waste days. Everybody does. But the people who eventually transform their lives are usually the ones who learned how to restart without self-hatred. And now, we need to talk about the hidden problem nobody wants to admit. A lot of people secretly enjoy planning more than doing. That hit a little too hard, didn't it? Buying productivity apps, making aesthetic schedules, watching how to focus videos for 3 hours instead of actually focusing. It feels productive because your brain gets dopamine from preparation. But preparation is safe. Execution is scary. Execution can fail. Execution can expose insecurity. Execution gives real feedback. That's why so many talented people stay stuck in getting ready mode forever. And the solution is brutally simple. Lower the activation energy. Instead of saying, I need to study chemistry for 3 hours, say, I'll open the chapter for 2 minutes. That sounds weak, but psychologically, it's genius, because starting is the hardest part. Once motion begins, resistance drops dramatically. Newton's first law applies to humans too. Objects at rest stay at rest. Objects in motion stay in motion. That's why tiny actions matter more than giant intentions. And honestly, this next part might be the most important thing in the whole video. You cannot build consistency while constantly destroying your energy. Sleeping at 3 a.m. every night, overstimulating your brain non-stop, comparing yourself to people online 24/7, trying to improve every area of your life simultaneously. That's not ambition anymore. That's self-sabotage, disguised as self-improvement. Your brain needs recovery. Your nervous system needs stability. Your habits need simplicity. And once you stop trying to become perfect, consistency suddenly becomes realistic. So here's what I want you to do tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight, pick one habit you keep failing at, then shrink it until it feels almost stupidly easy. Not 1 hour of studying, 5 minutes, not daily gym sessions, 10 push-ups, not editing a full video, just opening the project file. Then repeat it long enough that it starts feeling normal, because that's the real goal. Not becoming a motivation machine, not becoming superhuman. Just becoming the kind of person who returns again and again, even after bad days. That's real consistency. And if this video helped you realize why you've been struggling, watch the next video, because I'm breaking down the exact system that helped me stop procrastinating without relying on motivation at all. Seriously, that video connects perfectly with this one, and it might be the missing piece you've been looking for. Until then, take it slow, stay in the game, and let's level up together.